Hello engineers, Radhe-Radhe. Welcome to my YouTube channel and I am Upendra, and in this video I have discussing about how many types of counters. In previous video I have discussing about what is counter and its their types in shorts. In this video today I have discussing about what is how many types of counters and what is their function and what is the basic work of it. And so engineers, let's keep with us, and I have also make some content on counter up and counter down, so you have to note down your notebooks. Let's see. So actually in this video I have to discussing about types of counter. You have already know that there are two types of counter. First name is counter up and second is counter down. And so let's start this point. There are two main types of PLC counters: counter up counter and counter down counter. Count up counter, count down counter, and there are two types of count up counter, count down counter. For the counter up counters we have counter file name, counter reset value, a counter accumulator value, a counter count up bit, and counter down bit. In count of counters we have a counter file name. Actually your file name is counter, and a counter have reset value, also have the accumulator value, and also have counter up bit and counter down bit. And for the counter down counters you have the same bits and value, and by counter up counter, the only thing is that is different between counter down bit on the output and counter down bit on the output. In counter down, as you can see below, you have this as a counter up bit for counter up counter. So let's you have to see counter up and counter down. And in RsLogix 500 CTU, full form of counter up counter, and counter, and their file name is counter up and counter one reset and this is a counter file address name C5 separator 0 in RsLogix 500. Reset equal to 0, accumulator equal to CU, count up DN done, and CTD CD counter done and done with. And means this value is count up, means count the value up, and this instruction is count down, means value is count down, means the value which is count down is count. And also done with don't both have, but count up and count basic difference. Counter overflow, counter underflow, means counter overflow. In this counter overflow means 1 2 3 4 in this, and in it count down, counter down, -1 -2 -3 -4 -5. It is known as counter underflow. So engineers, I hope you understand what is the basic difference of counter up and counter down. So count up and count down. In this done bit done, count up bit, count down bit. So I hope you understand. From where you have to go to select, from you just go to timer and counter, and there is a count up, any counter up and counter down. Now you have to select it, and when you have to, when green is indicate, then you have to leave it, then it select it. Now you have to select CTD, and it is when green is indicate, then leave it. So countdown, counter off. So counter, there are three countdown, counter down, and only one counter off. So engineers, I hope you understand how many types of counters and what is the basic difference between count off and count down. So engineers, Radhe Radhe. In next video I am discussing about counter of count of counters. About details, full tutorial about counter of. So engineers, let's keep with us. Radhe Radhe.